Welcome back to Legends, the Untold Story. I'm Anthony Newbold speaking with Mr. Deepak Bhattanagar. You graduate college at 19.
Right.
And you also pass another hurdle before you turn 20.
Yes. As I said, after graduating from Shriram College of Commerce with a degree in accounting, I enrolled myself for the Chartered Accountancy. And at the same time also I enrolled for the Institute of Cost and Management Accountants exam in London. It was within a year I came out in flying colors, my first professional exam out of the Institute of Cost and Management Accountants, London, which was a very big accomplishment those days, that at the age of 20 I passed one professional exam.
Yeah. And 3 years later, you actually qualified as a chartered accountant.
Yes, by 75 I was a chartered accountant. 21 plus year, 21 or 22 plus year of age, I was a chartered accountant.
And of course, you got a head start on what you would end up doing when you came to the Bahamas.
Yes, yeah.
A
year later, actually, I also passed exams of the English Institute. And then I worked for this qualification, my background, my academic achievements earned me to be one of the 2 management trainees on national level. A country like in India, I was appointed management trainee in the Indian Tourism Development Corporation, a big chain of hotels.
Okay.
So I was selected there to be the management trainee. Later on, I became controller of a hotel there.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's good training for when you come here. But before you come here, you always liked cricket.
I like cricket very much. In the school, my physical education teacher saw a great potential in me because he felt I could spin the ball very well.
Okay.
And he actually coached me a lot of times. But somehow I was always very much watched by my siblings in school, and I used to bunk my classes in order to get to the cricket ground. When my father became aware of it, he was very angry, and he said, I send you to school to study, not to play cricket. And I won't fault him for that, because those days cricket or any other game was not a very rewarding career.
Yeah.
So, but I was always, those days there used to be 5-day cricket test matches.
Yes.
Between India and England, India and West Indies, India and Australia. I think these other countries joined cricket later. I used to go to the cricket grounds hoping that I'll get their autographs. I was very enamored by some West Indian cricketers like Sir Frank Hall, Gary Sobers. And I tried my level best, but I could not get to Gary Sobers.
Yeah.
It was later in 1997, as the CFO of the Hotel Corporation, I got an opportunity to go to Barbados, and there I saw Sir Gary Sobers.
Finally got that autograph you wanted.
Yes, and my father always used to feel that I spent a lot of time in this. But I will hear commentary those days. There was no televisions those days, no televised program. I will hear on the radio the commentary. And I also qualified the preliminaries when I went to Shriram College of Commerce in their cricket team. Of course, I couldn't spend much time on it, so I wasn't selected in the team.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you had to pay attention to your career at that point.
Right. Yeah.
So you graduated. You end up with the Indian Tourism
Development Corporation. Yes,
Corporation.
yeah.
But you decided you wanted to leave India.
I always wanted to widen my horizons, and I like the hotel industry very much. I had several offers from Middle East as well as some Gulf countries. Those days, a lot of people used to go to Gulf countries.
Yes.
But I wanted to be in the hotels. And I think at that time I became aware of the opening in the hotel industry in the Bahamas.
Mhm.
So I applied. I think they, at that time, and sometime in '78, the government of the Bahamas was embarking on a big development of the Cable Beach project. So those days you had some 400 room hotel like Ambassador Beach Hotel, about 200 rooms, less than 200 rooms, Emerald Beach Hotel, some 170 rooms, Balmoral Beach Hotel, and that was about it. There were not big hotels, but Sir Lyndon, who was the chairman of the hotel corporation, always was looking for some higher things. He wanted to put up a world-class resort on the Cable Beach, and not only Cable Beach, he wanted to put up a big hotel, big casino there, because there was a smaller hotel which was part of the Ambassador Beach Hotel, Playboy Casino. It was
Right.
much smaller than. There was, of course, a bigger casino on the Paradise Island, but Sir Lyndon really wanted a big casino hotel to be put up on the Cable Beach Hotel.
What sealed it for you? What made you decide to come to the Bahamas as opposed to going to one of the Asian countries?
A lot of those other countries had most of the opportunities were in accounting firms. The Middle East, the Gulf countries, there were not much hotel to speak of. But Bahamas was already emerging as a big tourist destination those days. And I had not heard much about, I had not known much about Bahamas other than the fact it was a big tourist destination, very much near to the United States. So when I applied, I got a letter back from them that when I will be willing to come to the Bahamas. Mr. Late Ehud Cunningham was a financial director, and Mr. Erskine Lindop was the chief administrative officer. So I applied, and I was very surprised. They sent me an offer to come as the chief accountant. And later on, after several years, when I saw in my personal file, I saw Sir Lyndon wrote on it, his qualifications and experience look too good for his age.
Yeah.
I would like to offer him a position. So
Yes.
that's, I think,
Yeah.
so somewhere on the line, I think Sir Lyndon was behind it.
Yeah.
Mm.
But all of your achievements as a student certainly paid off.
Yes. Yeah.
Certainly when it came to that. Let's talk about your wife now, because she came before you came to the Bahamas.
Well, I got married just a couple months before I came to the Bahamas. When I had applied to the hotel corporation those days, I was not married. But I was just about to get married, but I was not married.
She knew you were coming to the Bahamas? You were trying to come to the Bahamas?
I had told her in my first meeting with her, in India there is a system of arranged marriages.
Mm-hmm.
So her father met my father, and both of them decided that Surabhi, my wife, would-be wife, and myself should meet. We met, and our parents decided that we should be married. So it was in November 25th, 1978, we got married. She was also pursuing, she had not finished doing the chartered accountancy, but she was halfway through. And we came to the Bahamas in February '79, and she went back a year or two later, and she did her final exam, and she
Okay.
became a chartered accountant.
And has enjoyed the Bahamas like you have for the last 35 years.
Oh yes, he has been working here. She joined the Bahamas Air. She had one or two other jobs, but sometime in '92, she joined Bahamas Air, and that's where she is now. She is the director of revenue accounting at the Bahamas here.
All right. So talk to me though about your job at the Hotel Corp when you came here. What was the biggest challenge you had coming into the Hotel Corporation?
The biggest challenge over here was that to raise the money for the type of development Sir Lyndon had in mind. The board really wanted to embark right away to see what Hotel Corporation would be like in the next 10 years. There were hotels on the in New Providence like Ambassador Beach Hotel, Emerald Beach Hotel, Balmoral Beach Hotel, and 2 hotels in Freeport, Lucayne Bay and Lucayne Harbor in Marina. Lucayne Beach was also owned by the Hotel Corporation, but it was being, it was burnt by a fire sometime in the early 70s, and they wanted to renovate it and make it a casino hotel. It used to have a casino in the late 60s, like Monte Carlo Casino, but there were some 5 operating hotels, and there was one which was being developed, and then apart from that, the Cable Beach Hotel was to be built. And those days, the nearest thing what could have been closer to the Cable Beach Hotel was the hotel which was built in Santo Domingo with some 1,500 rooms, where Miss Universe pageant was held. And Sir Lyndon always wanted a world-class resort to be built, and he felt that the casino monies will be able to support the construction or the construction loan. So anyhow, the biggest challenge was to show to the bank and the lenders, yes, in 10 years we will be able to service the debt.
Yeah.
So I was instrumental in bringing all hotels together of their finances, building up the financial plan for the next 10 years, which paved the way for government to negotiate with the Bank of Nova Scotia, the lead lender, sometime in late 70s, 1980 or 81. We were able to get the loan of $150 million.
It's a lot of money at that point.
It was a lot of money those days. It was a lot of money, but fortunately for us, Cable Beach project was finished on time and under the budget.
Yes.
Yeah.
Built the property. So Lyndon is the chairman. But by 1985, Paul Adley is the chairman then.
Yes. Up till 1992, there were only 2 people who were the chairman, either Sir Lyndon or Mr. Paul Adderley. Mr. Paul Adderley became the chairman of the Hotel Corporation from 1985 to 87, and then he again took the reins of Hotel Corporation in 1990, and he was there until 1992. His vision was, and he thought that we have done enough for New Providence and Freeport. He wanted to extend the hotel industry to the other family islands, and he had his own views, and he did a lot of things for the Hotel Corporation. It is also said he is the one who authored the Hotel Corporation Act in 1974. He felt that we can have more hotels in the family island to support those economies. Plus, I think his biggest achievement was to open the Lucayne Beach Hotel and Casino. It was him who negotiated very successfully with Genting to open the Lucayne Beach Hotel and Casino and the other 2 hotels in Freeport. The Lighthouse Club in Central Andros was bought that time, and then Eleuthera, the Winding Bay was bought, and a lot of land which Hotel Corporation even currently have was bought that time. He wanted hotel to be built in Exuma, so Ocean Bight property was bought, and later on we had Four Seasons came there, and I think that property is now owned by Mr. Butch Kersner.
Yeah, it's you're busy over there at the Hotel Corp. We're gonna talk some more, but we gotta take another break, and we'll be back. Legends, the Untold Story. Deepak Bhattanagar after this.